Good morning. It's the 17th of January 2020. I haven't done a video in a few days and I'm getting emails, I'm getting notes on Discord saying, when are you doing the next video on Bitcoin? There's been so much going on with altcoins getting ready to take off that I've been buried completely in our spreadsheet as I'm keeping up with what's going on with all of the altcoins for our members. Not just for the bull market watch, which is, I think, the premier thing that every altcoin trader should have as a basic thing in your trading pocket. But I've also been working heavy, big time on the new course that is coming up. So next week, I'm starting it out and we're going through live training 3 times a week to cover through everything in the trading plan. We start off with the basics about money in the first week. We go over the dangers of trading and learning about risk control before we learn anything about trading at all. Finally, we get into the trading patterns, and this is where the course has really changed over this last year from what we did in 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 2019 was a big year because I did all of these live streams to go through all of these indicators ad nauseum in crazy detail. And I've gone back through the last year and I've pulled together all of the examples that really prove out the 1, 2, 3 pattern that you learn in the free webinar, and it puts it together with these indicators. If you are one of those tragedy stories and you've lost money and you followed somebody who gave you inappropriate advice, they're a backseat driver that told you to go onto the freeway and you drove onto the freeway and you smashed up. There is a way that you could learn how to drive onto that freeway smoothly at the right time and you wouldn't smash up. There really is. And I hope to have you along in that full course. There will be information on the website. It's going to be very limited registration. Really, it's going to be a short period of time because we're starting it next Tuesday. If we get 3 people in the course, I'm happy. If we get 10 people in the course, that's good. If we get 15, we are maxed out and I'm not taking any more than 15 people. That'll be on the website tomorrow. It's not ready today. Let me record this video now because things are happening with Bitcoin here. On the weekly view, we see the RSI is up to the mid-level. And if we are still in the downtrend, this is exactly what it's going to do. It's going to stop right here and it's going to hammer us down from here. That's what the downtrend does. It comes up to the midline, smashes down, up to the midline, smashes down. In the uptrend, we're going to come down to the midline and hammer the top, down to the midline and hammer the top. So let's see where we're going. Let's zoom in now on the time frames because as we get to the daily time frame, we're getting kind of overbought. And as we break that level on the way down, I want to know it. I want to pay attention to it. As we're zooming in on the 12-hour time frame, this is where I was drawing these lines before to say, well, in the downtrend, that we're going to get hammered down and hammered down and hammered down off of this RSI trend. In the uptrend, we get hammered up and, we go up this way every time we come off the midline. Now, I'm afraid of where we are right now. As we're coming up to this, we're seeing a divergence on the 12-hour. That's a big divergence. Let's zoom in because this pattern tightening up here with a double top on the RSI is starting to be a top formation. Let's jump into the on-balance volume. We can see that it's turning positive. We're getting a little bit of it, but on the weekly view, it really isn't significant yet. We need a lot more time at this level. Let's zoom in, daily time frame. You can see where I've got some scribbles on here. This is where I'm expecting it to pull back. And if it does pull back to these areas, this is going to be a better trading signal, a better entry place than the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout that we saw coming so long ago. Seems so long ago. So let us see if this pulls back here and watch these indicators. This is really good volume. So for me, this feels like we've got a turnaround, though there may be some correction. When we come back to these 1, 2, 3s and we see the divergences in our indicators, that's going to be something to pay attention to. Let's jump into the MACD. Spoiler, I'm already into the 4-hour time frame. We can see this pattern and the divergence going on. So that feels like a top to me. And as I zoom in on this and I'm watching this try to cross and fail, then I want to refer to other time frames to see how they're doing, especially the 12-hour. It hasn't crossed negative yet. Okay, so this is still uptrending, but it could quickly cross if we are going down. And how about the daily time frame? Still parallel arms going up. So the 12-hour and everything could pull back. We could hit these, those levels we saw and we'll be taking off from there. This won't have crossed. It'll pull back and then it'll be on its way up on the daily. The weekly is coming up to cross. So the weekly could go flat for a while, not a problem, right? This would be pretty normal for it to go sideways now for a while, pull back and go sideways into madness for a while. Wouldn't be unexpected for this. But for now, as I'm zooming into this 4-hour time frame and we're seeing this divergence from higher highs and lower highs here, feels pullback-ish to me. Let's go to the Bollinger Bands. Spoiler again, I'm leaving myself set up here, but this is the Bollinger Band mean reversion trade signal right there, up to the 3rd standard deviation and pulling back. That's a sell signal. It may not go deep, but let's watch and see how it goes. And it's not yet a 1, 2, 3 top formation. We have higher highs here. So it could come down, consolidate, and then we'll have to reevaluate as it's going past these levels, and we'll see in the next couple days what goes on. Let's zoom out a bit though. The 12-hour is still pushing against the top. The daily is still doing good up against the 2nd standard deviation and a trend. The weekly has broken past that midline. It's not definitive. It could come up and pull its way back. This is what we're kind of looking for. And I didn't go back to compare on this episode what happened at this time frame. So let's go back into the 4-hour, 1 hour on this. I'll watch this to see a 1, 2, 3 top and break down below this midline. And yeah, this is looking exhaustion candles there up at the top as we are. And here we have a composite of all 3 of them where I watch this and I post this over in our Discord chat regularly. So our pro journal actually had a running stream of this. So the very beginning of it unfolding, we started to track it and to watch what's going on with these indicators as this is unfolding. Now let's close with the altcoins. Bitcoin dominance top formation. We've determined that each time the 12-hour EMA crosses over, it is an important time to pay attention to. It could be alt season. Could be alt season. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be. We could go sideways even more. But every time it crosses, it is time to prepare. And then if it doesn't work out, we've got to be prepared to pull back. We can't be bag holders if this turns around and goes the other way. And so I would like to recommend that everybody who's watching come over and join us in the Bull Market Watch spreadsheet. This way you are going to see as we are moving into the trades and moving out of the trades. There's nothing else out there like it. And if I show you this spreadsheet from before, you may have seen this, but as we're progressing through time, you can see these trades coming up. We get lots and lots of warning. And this is great to see what happened in September and October as we pulled back because they were almost, but not quite. In November, we had another chance. They were pulling up, but not quite. We pulled back again. We didn't become bag holders. This is so important. Now things are shaping up again, and it's time to put out those feelers again and be in position for these altcoins because every time this happens, it could be the time. And it's important. This is what we're doing. We are trading. So if you've been burned, if you don't know what to do, if you don't have a specific plan, there's nothing out there like the Bull Market Watch spreadsheet. I make it super cheap so that we can have 1,000 people in it, thousands of people in it. It's helpful for everybody. The reason it's so cheap is for the scaling of it, not because the information is limited. There's nothing else out there like it that covers everything on Binance and everything on Poloniex. If you want to know which are the coins that are going to be taking off, we've got it. And it's not a question. There's no question about it. It's very clear. And this spreadsheet does well. It is unemotional. It doesn't have an opinion about XMR. As soon as XMR gives it the signal, it just goes into the signal. So come and join us over on the Bull Market Watch. And if you are serious at trading and you really want to take this to the next level and you want to make this a life habit, then the full course and the lifetime membership is for you. If you're like me, like I do a lot of yoga. I have a yoga mat here. YouTube is full of yoga videos. I don't need to go anywhere to go to a yoga class. But every day I roll up my yoga mat and I go to the yoga class because I never do a full yoga session on my own. There's something else to do. I get distracted. I get pulled away to something else. But if I go to the class and I've committed myself, wow, I do so much better yoga. And if this has been holding you back, this is really worth the investment. It really is. So I'm hoping to see 15 people maxing out this when I have this open up tomorrow. There will be an early mover bonus on the first day. On the second day, that will disappear. On the third day, all the early sign up bonuses close, and that's the end of registration. I hope to see you in there. I'm going to sign off. I've got loads of spreadsheets to go through right now. All of the alts are taking off. There's no time to dally. Good luck with all of your trading, and I am looking forward to see you on the inside. Bye for now.